Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone who's joined us. Thank you so much for joining us today at TikTok Happy Hour. This is our 10th session for the year, and essentially what we are is a live webinar that kind of brings in people from TikTok all around the world to talk about their life at TikTok, their careers, and the particularities of the work they do. Maybe by way of introduction, I should start by saying who I actually am. So my name is Rufiwa Maneta. I work for TikTok Africa. I work as a creator manager. And today we're going to be talking about how music, like how TikTok in particular, sort of helps grow, music in Africa. I have a very esteemed guest, a very good colleague of mine. His name is Uvir. And I suppose we'll start by him introducing himself. Uvir, take it away.
Cool, Raf. My name is Uvir. I'm a music ops manager for TikTok Africa. So what I do basically is I work with the music ops team, and we help artists get onto TikTok, first of all, get them set up, and also work out promotion plans for their music and get challenges set up for their music, and pretty much just work out the best way to promote their music on the TikTok platform.
Cool. But I mean, also outside of that, some people might not know you're actually quite a well-known musician. Could you just tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So outside of TikTok, I'm a DJ and producer that goes by the name of Sketchy Bongo. I'm pretty well known in Africa as also as a DJ and producer. Yeah, so that's kind of what I did before TikTok, and also currently what I do as well with being part of TikTok. Yeah.
Cool. So I suppose a follow-up question to that would be, Sketchy Bongo, really popular sort of like musician, DJ. Now Uvir Pillay, like kind of working at TikTok. Did you join the team? Why did you join the team? Yeah, but maybe let's start with when did you join the team and why?
Yeah, so I joined TikTok in February 2020, so it hasn't been that long, a few months. But we've obviously been doing so much at TikTok. This 2020, it's been growing so much. TikTok globally for 2020 has had huge growth. But yeah, that's when I've joined, and it's been quite an exciting ride working at TikTok.
And so obviously music ops manager, like that title might confuse a couple of people. So yeah, what is it that your team does? Like, what is it that you actually do? Could you give us a bit of a breakdown?
Yeah, so music ops basically works on ways that we can actually identify trending music in TikTok, but also working with artists to get their music to be trending music on TikTok. So we work with artists in terms of creating campaigns for their music, also working with artists to actually develop their accounts so that they have some kind of following, and also work with them in terms of the content that they put onto their TikTok account. So it's a mixture of all that, basically trying to promote music on TikTok. And obviously, since we are the Africa Music Ops team, our focus is generally on African musicians from all over the continent and getting them the best experience on TikTok Africa.
Right. And I mean, it's a bit weird because maybe someone who's watching this live wouldn't actually know that me and you actually work quite closely together, almost on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So obviously Sketchy is like music ops. I'm a creator manager. But there's a point Sketchy touched on earlier on. I mean, Uvir, sorry. I knew Sketchy as a musician.
You can call me Sketchy for this interview. It's fine.
For this interview, I might say Sketchy. I might say Uvir. Please don't be. So I work with Sketchy quite a bit, and essentially, quite a few artists come onto the app, for example, and the reason is because they kind of have a single, they want to promote, they want to put a challenge together. But what me and Sketchy would be responsible for, me on a creator manager side, is kind of having them like post like every single day. So posting stuff outside of the fact that I have some music out, I want to put a dance challenge together. the both of us would kind of be responsible for making sure that, they kind of have like always on content. So if you see like a musician in South Africa specifically whose TikTok account you like and posts quite regularly, myself and Sketchy had a hand in it.
Probably behind that, yeah.
We were behind the scenes. So maybe let's get into a few specifics. I think you spoke like quite high level, what it is you actually do on a day-to-day basis, right? But I mean, just sort of like what would a normal day look like, sort of like in your job? And I mean, maybe, you can be as granular as you want. I wake up, I feel like...
Yeah, so working at TikTok, obviously, I joined right when the lockdown started in South Africa. So most of my experience at TikTok Africa has been work from home. So pretty much, as you said, wake up in the morning. We have a cool work interface that we can always chat to all our work colleagues with. Pretty much just see what meetings are happening in the morning. Generally, at the beginning of the week, we kind of work on what campaigns we're going to be working on this week, what trends are actually happening, identifying them with the team. So we go through those meetings. And then obviously throughout the day, there's calls, as you know, Rafiwa, with artists asking us, hey, we got the new single out. Can we do something with it? What can we do? So a lot of the day is that, talking to artists and advising them on their campaign strategies. And then also from music ops side, obviously, is the editorial side. So that's playlisting, adding banners, sound page banners, and all the other promotional stuff that TikTok offers in-app, because there's lots of things, obviously, in-app that TikTok does editorial-wise, like the Discover page, the sound page, all of those places you can find the latest trends that are happening on TikTok. And all of that is kind of analyzed and identified by the music ops team, as well as our content team, who also is part of that kind of role.
And there's something you touched on earlier on, just that bit about working from home. I think that's quite interesting. So I also obviously started TikTok August 2020. So I've been here like
visit the office at first.
Yeah, we've been allowed to visit the office. I think I'm kind of interested, just generally speaking, how that experience of sort of like running music operations from home has been. I mean, we're colleagues, and we haven't really even met, so kind of that work from home.
I mean, definitely, there's been a whole lot of colleagues that have joined this year that I have never met in person. And the great thing about working, I think, for TikTok has been just how easy it has been to collaborate. Even from the work from home, just the processes we have and the mechanism, the apps and technologies that we use for like video conferencing and sending messages. We actually use a program called Lark, which has been really good for doing collaborations and things like that. And it really helps with ease of communication and also working together with the team. We can pretty much work online on any campaign. We can load the document up, and everybody can add their ideas, brainstorm together. And that's one thing that I think has been really good working at TikTok, has been the factor that we can collaborate that easily. Obviously, working on these things, we work with, like you in creator ops, I'm in music ops, we work with the content team. We work with teams that are not even in Africa. We obviously work with teams in Europe, wherever. And working with teams like that, just having an ease of communication is key to any kind of success in a company like TikTok.
So just a bit of a reminder, if you've just joined our webinar, just the topic is how TikTok helps to grow the African music industry. This is our 10th sort of like happy hour session, and wherever you are in the world, wherever you're tuning in, thank you so much for joining us again. I suppose, Sketchy, maybe the next point is, you started in March, right? So relatively new to TikTok, but still, I think the question I'm interested in is, what kind of growth have you witnessed just sort of like within the past couple of months. Yeah, could you tell us about that? What have been some of the biggest piece areas of growth? Yeah.
Yeah, there's been huge growth with TikTok, specifically with music. Obviously, TikTok and music are joined completely because most challenges have some kind of music element. But one thing that's definitely happened is the rise of trending African music in TikTok, which we've really had a huge role to play in, kind of with us just identifying these songs. Also reaching out to the artists that have created these songs and saying, hey, let's work on this on TikTok, let's grow it. If you want, I can even get into some specifics. So one of the campaigns we did was with Shoma Josie. We had a campaign just when lockdown started. Obviously, everyone was down, they were stuck at home and all that. So we launched a campaign with TikTok called Spirits Up. And the great thing about this was really about working out cool things to do, whether it's on TikTok or by yourself or with your family at home, to really enjoy the time that you are actually in this lockdown. So we created a song with Shoma Josie called Spirits Up. It actually went to being #1 on TikTok as one of the local song trends. We worked with Shoma Josie remotely to create a music video for this song, kind of with us giving direction, sharing with Shoma Josie like some of the trends that are going on in TikTok, and she incorporated that into the music video. And then she actually launched with us a Spirits Up dance trend, and we had lots of celebrities, we had lots of users, and some of our top creators actually joining that. So that was a really exciting thing, one of the exciting campaigns that we worked on. And since then, in Africa, there's been a whole lot of them. There's been a whole lot of challenges that we worked on. You can pretty much just go through what we've launched recently is called TikTok Song of the Year. So these have been the top songs that did well on TikTok, and all of them had campaigns that we worked on. So you can see just with that, over the course of a few months in 2020, the kind of impact TikTok has had. Because also those songs, a lot of them were from artists that weren't known last year. There were a lot of unknown artists that have had their song go to #1 on the charts, on others, on streaming apps, on radio play, and all of that. And a lot of that has come from their song being the #1 TikTok trend. As soon as somebody hears your song or see your song trending on TikTok, immediately the first thing they're going to do is maybe create a video with it or watch other people's video. And the next thing they're going to do is say, hey, I want to hear the full version of the song. And that direct correlation has helped a lot of small artists in Africa actually build their presence in the music industry, and also build their presence on TikTok and get a whole lot of streams also out app, which has helped build their profile.
Maybe just as just as a short answer to that question, to that response, you mentioned there being like quite a few small artists who joined onto the app, and the song gone to the top. Is there one in particular like you enjoyed working with the most, or just one example where that happened?
Yeah, I'm going to give you two, but really quickly. So there was obviously Max Harrell, a South African producer who produced the song Zol, where he actually sampled one of the minister's speeches, the health minister's speeches, and he launched it as a challenge himself initially, actually on TikTok. The minister heard about it, and she actually congratulated him for spreading the word about being safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. So she was really happy with him doing that. And the song was huge. It got news exposure. The song actually ended up going to #1 on Apple Music and Spotify in South Africa. And this artist was completely unknown. Nobody knew him before the song. And obviously what we did immediately was reach out to this artist, I was actually speaking to him before the song dropped, actually, building his account. But yeah, his account grew dramatically over the course of this year. You can follow him. His name is Max Harrell. Really cool, interesting TikTok account. Another producer also that has had really good success is a guy called Jasmir. He's been making a lot of funny meme songs that have led to like TikTok dances and things like that. And this guy, he launched a challenge called I'm a iPhone. So Amapiano music is a genre of music from South Africa, and he sampled, it made it like a ringtone with it, and people made a dance with it, and that also ended up getting a whole lot of news attention. And the key factor for these artists, and it's in media, it's all over, because they've obviously personally attested to this on radio and in news and stuff like that. The key factor has been them creating these TikTok challenges that has literally led to them getting known by a whole fan base that would have been really difficult for artists at that level to get known by. Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. And I mean, you touched on a couple of things there, just the idea that, you know, small musician kind of can blow up on the app. You know, people go to challenges. To be completely honest, before I joined TikTok, it was quite weird because I always used to look at the app from quite a fair distance. You know, I didn't understand it. Yeah. But, you know, especially after lockdown, TikTok has been like really, really popular in South Africa. Like it's where, you know, some songs go viral. I suppose from your just sort of perspective, why do you think it is that the app in particular is so popular in Africa? You know,
I think there's a few factors that lead to TikTok being really, really popular in Africa. One factor, obviously, is the app is fun. The app is entertainment. It's something that's really enjoyable. It's all about music. There's obviously a lot of dance challenges. That's not our number one genre. Our number one is probably like comedy, meme. There's a whole lot of new categories that are coming up in TikTok every day. And I think that really compels users from Africa. In Africa, we obviously love music, we love dance, and comedy is huge, especially in a region like Nigeria. Nigerian comedy is huge. And right now on TikTok, we actually did a promotion around Nigerian comedy. So that was immediately a draw card for some users in Nigeria and also globally with something like that. Obviously, just one thing that TikTok does is it spreads joy. So when you're sitting at home, and we've in South Africa had a really long lockdown compared to other countries globally. When you're sitting at home, obviously, you're going to look for something that's going to bring entertainment and bring joy to you. TikTok is something you can do with your friends, you can do with your family, you can do with your kids. You can create a TikTok with your mom. It's something that brings a family together, it brings people to, and gives you something to do. And it's fun. Like, literally, that's what it comes down to. TikTok is fun, it's interesting. And as I said, besides the whole thing with dance, comedy, and all of that, there's a whole lot of new genres and topics that are coming up in TikTok. Right now, you see things with makeup, with fashion. Fashion is really big right now on TikTok. And all of these things, just to bring it back to music, all of these challenges, whether it has to do with fashion, whether it has to do with motoring, gaming, all of it has some kind of music part of these things. So music plays a role, obviously, in TikTok. And yeah, that's kind of why people are really interested in the app.
Cool. And so we obviously know, like you said, like TikTok's fun. You know, it's different from other social media platforms because, you know, a place where you don't necessarily have to take yourself too seriously. That's kind of the point of the entire thing. But for musicians in particular, you know, why do you think they come to TikTok specifically? Because obviously, you know, I know on a daily basis, you know, why do you think it is that they're coming to TikTok to promote their music?
With TikTok, the main thing is compared to promoting your music on any other platform where maybe you're posting an album art with your song in the background or something like that, the things that work in TikTok are things where challenges that get users to be interactive with your music. So as soon as I hear a song or I see a challenge, I'm going to be doing something, whether I'm doing like a meme, whether I'm doing a dance, whether I'm doing lip sync to your song. I'm physically interacting with your music. And as soon as somebody's physically interacting with something, that means it's going to become part of what they're doing. They're actually creating some content themselves with your music. When that happens, obviously it ends up trending, and that leads to streams outside of the app, and the song doing really well in TikTok. And that's the number one factor. People and musicians globally want their songs to end up trending on TikTok. When something trends on TikTok, that means it's going to do well. It's going to be globally recognized. And that's kind of the draw card for artists. Also, a lot of artists have actually seen, as you know, when they start a TikTok profile, maybe they're not that well known as an artist, but as soon as they start a TikTok profile and they start posting content, their profile is suddenly growing at a much more rapid speed than any other app. So that's one thing, is just how quickly you can actually grow a following. So, for example, if I start a TikTok account now and I try to grow it and I get to maybe 200,000 followers, which is not that difficult to do on TikTok compared to other apps. Growing that following immediately means if I release a song, if I start a challenge, I've got 200,000 people that are going to be looking at my music immediately, which is in the past, before TikTok, that was really difficult to do. To get that kind of numbers as a small artist or a newcomer would be really, really difficult to do. So that's definitely one of the things that draws artists to the platform. Everybody wants their song to be a trend on TikTok. And you think about it, like any other social media app, especially in South Africa and Africa, trends don't really start there. Or if it does start there, that's not really where it goes viral. Things go viral on TikTok. And that's kind of been the draw card for artists globally, not only in Africa, it's been the draw card globally. Yeah.
So I think, as your colleague, I know, like, you probably get approached by at least one musician per day. Like, in a year, that's
probably get approached by more than that.
More than that. But let's, even if it was one a day, it would be 365 in the whole year. So you do quite a lot of work. But I mean, even in the time you've been here, there should be, some sort of like unforgettable projects, like maybe one or two you've worked on that you thought like had a really good impact. Could you talk about Show My Josie earlier on? Yeah, could you maybe just talk about
as I mentioned, the Show My Josie Spirits Up campaign was really big for us, and it had really big impact. It was something where we were completely involved with the creation of the challenge, creation of the music video, and even involved with helping with the song. But generally, how we work with artists is we're not that hands-on. That was more of a campaign from TikTok. When it came to Casper Nyovest, he had just joined the platform, and he had some cool songs that he had just put out, and he came to us and he said, "Hey, I want to work out how to use this TikTok thing." And TikTok, this was like at the start of lockdown. So Casper Nyovest in South Africa is one of the biggest artists in South Africa. He's known all over the continent, and he's also known globally. What we did with him was we just started launching a feature called Promoted TikTok Lives. So what this is, it's not a normal TikTok live, like anyone can go live on TikTok or any social media app. This was where we were actually promoting it and saying, hey, Casper Nyovest is going to be live at this time, and it's going to run into promotion of his new song challenge. And when we did this, lockdown just started in South Africa. So we created something with him called At Home With Me. So At Home With Me was a campaign where musicians or any user really could be at home, just showing people what they're doing at home, maybe do like a little performance of a song. And we reached out to other musicians as well that were on the app. So we had Lockenville, other South African musicians like Good Luck, Kabza De Small, and a whole lot of artists from South Africa, and also outside of South Africa, and we got them to do challenges and do videos for this. And all of this led up to this live. And then when we finally had the live, on that day, Casper said his phone wasn't working, or there was some problem with this broadcast, and we were like stressing out because we had done this huge promotion. It had a banner on the Discover. There was another banner on the splash screen. There was a lot of promotion done for this, and literally we were like, dude, just make a plan, get a phone, do something. So eventually, I think he ended up getting an iPad and going live on TikTok on his iPad, and the performance was really great. So just to give you like some kind of idea of the numbers that came through, there was huge numbers. We had more than 40,000 unique viewers for that TikTok live. Like 40,000 viewers is like a stadium. So essentially, he was performing to a stadium live on his phone from his house while he was in quarantine, which is crazy. Because even if you see like artists, when they try to do this themselves, they don't get nearly that kind of response just doing it themselves. So that's one of the things that we do as well, is working with artists for doing promotions, doing promoted lives and things like that. And that was a really good one because it was our first attempt at doing it, and we were so happy with the results we got and the people that actually viewed it on TikTok live. Yeah, so that was definitely one really good one.
Cool. So I mean, I saw both So Much Music campaign and the Casper campaign. I wasn't even on TikTok yet. It had a huge reach. Everyone was talking about it. It was really innovative.
So those were talking about it outside of TikTok. it was all over social media. So yeah, that was really cool.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, you've spoken quite extensively about the kinds of musicians you work with. You know, maybe let's take things, you know, a bit in-house, internally. Just generally speaking, you know, for your role, like, you know, what kinds of people do you enjoy working with? You know, what kinds of people make your job easier? Yeah.
Yeah. For me, obviously, people that are motivated to actually grow, not just themselves individually, but grow the music industry, grow TikTok, and see the potential of the platform. That's the main thing. People that are easy to work with, fun to work with, good to talk to, easygoing, and that's the kind of thing. And also people that generally tell you when, because in TikTok our culture is kind of really open. So if I don't agree with you, Rolf, I will tell you, and obviously you tell me all the time if something isn't quite right, and we obviously appreciate everyone's opinions. We respect each other, and that's the kind of thing how our work culture is at TikTok, and that's kind of why we're able to grow at such a rapid pace, is just how we collaborate. You can't be working on your own on TikTok. We collaborate the whole time. We're working with teams, our own team and cross-function teams constantly. And yeah, that's really what's led to our success. So when it comes to somebody that I would like to work with, it's somebody that's that kind of criteria. Yeah. Rob, I'd like to know your answer to that question as well.
I mean, it would be pretty similar to yours. Like, I mean, so the first thing they tell you when you get to kind of like bite dance or TikTok is that the kind of bite style. So, you know, sort of certain traditions or certain values that make, you know, working at the company easier. I think for me, the most important one is sort of like always day one, and, you know, open and humble. So like kind of that always day one spirit is sort of like always like sort of trying to innovate. So I really love, you know, working with people, you know, who challenge me on my ideas, but who also say, like you do, like quite a few, like a bit like, okay, cool, maybe let's not do that. We've already tried that with another artist, didn't necessarily work. Let's try something else. And then openness as well. I think it's always cool when people are open. Like you said, like at TikTok, there are no sort of like hierarchies in that sense. We can all talk with each other, no matter how senior someone is. you can tell them, you can give you an input on an idea. So essentially for me, I love working with people who are open, kind of like want to innovate, kind of challenge me not to do the same thing. So that's what's pretty cool, and those are the kind of people I enjoy working with.
Definitely. Definitely, yeah. Always day one has always been my favorite bite style, because literally it is always day one at TikTok. Like you always getting new challenges. The everything keeps constantly changing, and that's what we like. We like innovation. We love change. That's what we enjoy.
And so I'm going to put you on the spot here. I think we've already spoken about bite styles, what type of people we like working with. But, quite a few people always ask what it's like working at TikTok. And I think I'm going to ask you, and I'm going to answer it after you. Maybe, if you were to tell us in one word what it's like working at TikTok, and then after you give us the word, you can give us the explanation. But in one word, what's it like working at TikTok?
I would go with change. So why I say change specifically is that is what's happening constantly, and that's what we really like and enjoy. And one thing we definitely encourage is change. So innovation, change. The platform TikTok itself has changed so much in the past year, 2 years. There's been so many new functions that have been added to the app. There's been so many new types of content that users are creating. So we obviously need to adapt to that and work out the best way to promote that in-app, and also work out in terms of change, in terms of the company itself. We always have new ideas. So maybe we're doing a meeting every week. We're doing the same kind of thing. And maybe it's working, but another bite style of us is obviously aim for the highest. So we're going to switch that up next bi-month and say, how can we actually improve this? Even though it might be working really well, we're always looking for ways to improve it. So yeah, that would be my answer. What's your word?
So yeah, the word I chose was kind of energetic. Maybe, a synonym for that would sort of be fast-paced. I think at TikTok, the one thing I really enjoy is, like I said, because they're not necessarily people trust you enough to do your job. Essentially, pitch your idea, what it is you think you want to do, and immediately you're told, go do it. Just run with it. But I think because of the nature of that, it just means things happen at quite a quick rate. So we're always doing something. Like you mentioned earlier on. I mean, even when I look at what the app looked like, for example, in March, and kind of the type of content that's popular now. TikTok used to be kind of a, people used to associate it with lip sync content, and then it was dance, and now it's comedy. So things are always changing right before your eyes. And I think that deserves a certain type of energy. You know what I mean? I don't ever met anyone at TikTok, who isn't energetic, because it kind of the company kind of demands that for the job you have. So yeah, definitely be energetic.
That's great. Yeah, I completely agree with that one, Rob.
Sweet. And then I think maybe in closing, the last question. So we've spoken quite a bit end to end what you do, some of our successes, your favorite campaigns you worked on. I suppose the last question would be, where do you think sort of growth opportunities, especially in Africa? What would be growth opportunities for TikTok in Africa?
Yeah, with TikTok in Africa right now, there's obviously we're working with a lot of campaigns, and obviously that's something we're going to keep doing, but also incorporating artists and brands and people into the app more directly, getting the more exposure for the TikTok brand in other brands, and things like that. With the whole thing with growth, there's obviously two factors. So we're talking about growth in terms of the music industry and also in terms of TikTok. With TikTok, we see it constantly growing. Like that's something that's definitely not stopping. And with the music industry right now, as I said, we are always working with artists to help grow the industry completely. And one thing that I do want to say is when an artist comes to us and wants to work, the easiest way for someone to grow is for them to be completely absorbed in the app. And even when you're working at TikTok, one thing I definitely recommend is knowing TikTok as a platform and knowing what it's about, knowing the content, knowing what the features are. All of these things will help you grow your account and definitely help you if you are working at TikTok. Yeah, that's kind of my answer.
Sweet. Yeah, I think that encapsulates everything perfectly and like to kind of end everything like on a really good note.
Mm.
I mean, so thank you, Sketchy. I keep saying Sketchy Uvir, Sketchy Uvir. Thank you so
Thanks so
much.
much.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you so much if you for staying the length of the webinar. Like I said earlier on, this is our 10th one, TikTok happy hour, which is kind of full of content to talk about life at TikTok. But thank you so much for staying the course. I hope you've learned a little bit of how music, like how TikTok helps grow the African music industry, and yeah, have a better understanding of what it is we actually do like on a daily basis. But thank you so much for joining us wherever you are in the world, and I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a great evening, afternoon, day, and thanks again for joining us. Cheers.
Thank you.